BioBlitz, well, it kicks off with the idea of trying to count all the species that are around this part of Woolacombe and in the sea just off it, and doing so in just 8 hours. So we've got scientists, expert naturalists that we've invited from all over Devon and beyond Devon, and we've got groups going out in all directions trying to identify as many species as they can. We've got Woolacombe Sub-Aqua Club diving off the coast, we can see their boat out there, and we've also got people seine netting, dragging a big net out to sea, wearing their wetsuits and so on, pulling it back in and seeing what they can catch there.
Yes, I think it is.
Because there's no, I'm not feeling any burning tubercles.
Well, they are very
Yeah, I mean, I was getting worried.
B-R-I-L-L. So I've been to quite a few BioBlitzes all around the country, starting about 4 or 5 years ago, and I think they're a really excellent event. It's often really hard if you're a scientist. You don't often get to meet the public and help introduce them to the species we have in this country. And most people think our seas are actually quite cold and dull and lifeless. And it's great to have an event like this where we can meet the public and show them just how exciting it really is. Probably the most interesting thing I've found is a club sea squirt, which is very, very small. It's about 1 centimetre in size. It's bright orange, and actually it's lots of little animals together. They're colonial, and it looks just like a bit of jelly, but actually it's one of the most closely related marine organisms to humans, because as a juvenile they have a backbone, but obviously as an adult then they're completely jelly, so they're very unusual.
Well, as part of the BioBlitz, what we really need to do is record all the species that people are finding, and we're checking these as we go against the sort of known lists we have for the area. So we're able to kind of work out which of the species we haven't seen, so we can highlight which of these species that people are finding are unusual. Because when you get this many experts sort of congregating on one area, you get sort of, they're spotting all kinds of things that everyone's walking past every day that can be like really unusual. So that's one of the really nice things about BioBlitz. So I'm just checking all these against my references and my computer databases, and we're trying to keep up a tally, because actually people really want to know how many species we're finding during the day. We've got a lot of the unusual species tend to be things that people like don't really notice. So we've got some midges and some beetles and some like ladybirds and things that people might not recognise as being really unusual, because they could just sort of say, oh, it's a bug. So those are the sort of 5 or 6 really unusual. We also had a wood mouse. He's not maybe unusual, but he's pretty cool to see up by the allotments, probably after people's fruit in the allotments, no doubt.